I wanted to touch on your life now that we got out all the shenanigans, I would say. I seen something where you spoke about how you felt your childhood was abusive and the form of punishment that was used was violent. And it didn't actually make you want to behave even more, but it caused you to be angry and act out even more.
Right.
Can you speak to that?
Do I what? You said what?
So can you speak to that?
Right. Um, I grew up with a lot of violence. Like I grew up in a Chinese uh household. You know what I'm saying? And the way that my family was teaching was through abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we would get hit, we would get beat. You know what I mean? But different type. I mean, everybody was at that time, right? We talking about the 80s and 90s. Yeah, everybody was beating their kids at that time. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the type of abuse and the type of abuse that was being exhibited in my childhood. It just made me more angry. It didn't really teach me anything. In fact, it just made me want to act out. You know what I'm saying? It made me just not respect the people that was trying to teach me. You know what I mean? Like they weren't trying to get through to me. They were trying to like force me. They were trying to like, punish me into like, something. And I wasn't, yeah, I wasn't a person that really like adhered to that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't it didn't register to me. You know what I'm saying? So instead it made me very angry. You know what I mean? It made me very violent. You know what I'm saying? The China Mac that you see today is a lot different than the China Mac I was before. A lot of people see China Mac now, YouTube and stuff, and they think like, oh, I'm just a cool guy. But I was very different before. You know what I'm saying? Violence was my communication before. You know what I'm saying? And I really had to take a long time to really work on that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of that came from how I was being raised. Like violence, well, a piece of that was like that. But then once I got into prison, violence was the only once I got into juvenile detention, violence was the only communication that people really understood. You know what I'm saying? So, that coupled with how I was raised and the abuse that was going on.
You know, it's crazy because psychological studies have shown that, you know, when you punish someone that way, it causes them to feel shame and then anger comes from shame, right?
Right.
And why do you think minorities tend to lean that way? I guess like that's the stereotype more that in minority households the form of punishment is that versus communicating why certain things should not be done or trying to talk something through to someone.
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. But I know in Asian households, like from China and stuff like that, like from other countries, like there's just not a lot of communication between the parents and the children. Like it's like dictatorship. It's not like let me teach you and show you. It's you're gonna do this. You're gonna listen to this, and you're gonna eat this. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna get fucked up. Like that's just that was the communication. You know what I mean? And I feel like in our culture, that's just what it was.
Do you feel like there wasn't a lot of affection shown in the household?
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, there's not a lot of that in the Asian household.